back, everyone, to the Cheltenham Countdown channel on YouTube. And what a mega 3 days the November meeting did give us at Cheltenham last weekend. I really thought the races that took place were very good. Some competitive contests throughout the 3 days there at Prestbury Park. Really, really good, and some exciting young horses to follow. It gave us something to follow, I should say, for the rest of the season. A few brilliant, exceptional rides from the jockeys, to say the least. And we had a best bet winner, of course. The first race to kickstart the weekend, the first race of the opening day, the meeting starting with a Pie de Nom, giving us a best bet winner to kickstart the meeting at Cheltenham. Obviously, the other two didn't run. The three I had, obviously one came in and won. The other two didn't run last weekend. But we had a winner. We had a best bet winner about damn time, I say. So that's a good way to start this week's episode. Just to recap that, just to recap Cheltenham. You know, I will have the race rebound come the end of the video. But for now, I just wanted to introduce with that. This weekend, there is a lot of racing happening. So much going on, with lots of entries and loads of quality horses returning back from their break now. Some nice novices are starting out as well. So it's going to be a case of running through as many races as I can on this episode for the weekly preview ahead. Of course, on Friday, we have Ascot, Fairyhouse among the meetings to look at. Then Saturday, it's a triple header, including Grade 1 action. Grade 1 action is back, is what we want with the jumps races. It's all about Grade 1s. At Punchestown and Haydock, as well as Ascot's second day of their meeting on Saturday. Their race card as well there. And on Sunday, there's more from Punchestown. There's more racing from Punchestown. Another Grade 1 race, the John Durkan at Punchestown on Sunday. And some interesting races at Cork to feature in the process. I'm just so excited this weekend. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pinpoint and pick the horses I like this weekend from these meetings as quickly as I can for you throughout the video, and note who I think you should be looking out for in the meantime. If I miss any horse out who you guys would like a mention on, please do comment. All your interactions do not go unnoticed. I stress that highly. I read them all. I try and respond to every single one of them. So do comment if I missed anyone out and who you guys are backing this weekend. There won't be the latest Jumps News segment today, as there hasn't been much news in the last week or so. Obviously, a lot of entries are happening, but not much news as such. I'm delving straight into the weekend meetings first. Race rebound afterwards. So we look at Cheltenham and other races that happened in the last week after the weekend preview, because there's a lot of races to get to. I want to get as quickly as I can done. So first of all, give the video a like and share, and please subscribe to don't miss anything on this channel for the rest of the season. Let's rattle through the big meetings and a lot of the races throughout the weekend. Starting off, I'm going to Ascot first. Second race on Friday, and I'm hoping Idaho Sun can win again and follow up his maiden hurdle win that he did win at Fontwell. This time in the introductory hurdle, over a mile, 7 furlongs. He's odds on for the race against 3 other rivals, but he is a horse to follow for me this season and does have to give weight away to everyone in the race, but is a winner over hurdles already and has had the experiences of bumpers before Brian Carver takes it. I'm really hoping Idaho Sun, who's shading odds on at the moment, it's a bit of a short price, but I'm hoping he can deliver and win us another race for a horse to follow that has been mentioned on this channel already this season. Then we go 235 at Ascot next in a 0 to 140 Class 3 handicap hurdle, and the favourite is Fortune de Mer, who looks tough to oppose off 124, 124 rating for Dan Skelton. They're clearly trying to get him up the rating slowly in order for a county hurdle bid come March, and he is a short price favourite here the last time I checked. So it's worth keeping an eye out to see how he goes as well at Ascot on Friday, 2:35, Fortune de Mer. Shifting over to Fairyhouse then on Friday at 1:06, the time 1:06, there is a beginner's chase over 2.5 miles headlined and headed by Kiss Will for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins. He finished 7th in the Turners at the festival, and he could be good over over staying trips this season and over fences. You think he probably could be a bit better over fences, perhaps, as he did win obviously the 3-mile listed novice hurdle at Perth come the end of last season. He's currently an even money favourite and should go and win this race. So 3 horses there I want you to keep on saying, keep a look at, guys. Idaho Sun, Fortune de Mare and Kiss Whale. They're the 3 on Friday I'll be looking at, and hopefully they can land us a win, a treble perhaps. 3 winners back to back. Moving on to Saturday now, back at Ascot, and there are 2 races I want to discuss Saturday afternoon. Firstly, the Ladbrokes 1965 Chase, and then the Ascot Hurdle afterwards. The 1965 Chase, first of all, looks on paper to be a fantastic race. Very good race looks on paper, and it probably will be a decent little renewal this year. And there seems to be a lot of pace with the horses who like to front run. The likes of Ile Francais, Pic Dohi, Gidley Park 2. Then you have Django Bai and Master Chewy who want to come from off the pace. So this is a cracking renewal this year. I think it's a very good race. Maybe the race of the day on Saturday. And considering most of these horses are having their first run of the season, I'm going to leave it as a watching brief. I'm going to leave this race best watched for myself. I haven't got a selection, therefore I'm going to, with a neutral's view, with a neutral's eye, see who's in line to improve and progress for the rest of the season. This could be a stepping stone for a few of these horses, perhaps. Maybe to the King George VI Chase at Kempton next month. Maybe Ile Francais, Picto, he could be going there. Django Bai's been in line for it, so it's probably going to be best watch. I see who performs well on the day, and it could be a little pointer to see who steps up in trip, better equipped, stepping up in trip for Kempton on Boxing Day. The Ascot Hurdle race next, which is not as good as the 1965 Chase field, yet it does have a couple of horses that can develop significantly more during the season. The likes of Woodhoo is in there for Gordon Elliott, Potter's Charm and Celtic Dino. But I do like Altobelli for the race, as well as Celtic Dino as well. He's not a bad shot, based on the drying conditions they're having at Ascot at the moment. It's good to soft there currently, so if it remains like that, then I'll probably side with one of them, either Altobelli or Celtic Dino. Woodhoo, the Martin Pipe winner at the festival, will need to win this if she's to be tried as a genuine contender for the Mares Hurdle back at Cheltenham. That's what she's been touted by some connections recently and at the beginning of the season. She has been backed heavily for this race, and she could win this. She could tank through the whole race. She's done hardly anything wrong over her obstacles so far. Whereas some of the horses in this race, like such as Potter's Charm, fell last time out. Therefore, he needs to bounce back and get his confidence renewed. Probably will side at the prices Altobelli, like I mentioned. Not a big stake, but either Altobelli or Celtic Dino, just purely in a price and a ground condition sort of point. Like I said, Woodhoo could easily win this race, but I want to say with someone who's very good on the ground, has had good course form, like Altobelli has done. So he could be one for me for this race. Come ask him. 3 races from Haydock next on Betfair Chase Day, remember, starting with a Grade 2 to open the card there. And I think Stick to the Plan is the one to side with here. He's already a Grade 2 winner this season in the Persian War Officers Hurdle at Chepstow, and he's opened up at 9-4 for this race with Masked Man in there as short as 11-10 for the race. He won't be for me. So Ollie Murphy, the Sean Bowen combination on Stick to the Plan, what's not to like? He's already a graded winner, Grade 2 winner. He's got a graded penalty, a penalty for winning that race at Chepstow, but I still think he'll go and win this race. We're moving on then to the Graduation Chase at 150 with a Jukebox Man making his reappearance back. And is already odds on at 4-5, but I think he's a certainty for this on his way to running at Kempton and the King George. I'll be having him in my multiples for the entire weekend, and I'm sure he'll be putting Iroko and Nappers Hill, who are also in the race, away with ease, with his speed and jumping pace over the shorter trip. So yeah, he's an odds-on shot, but I think the Jukebox Man is nailed on to win this race. Then we're moving on to Haydock again at 225 on the card for the Stayers Handicap Hurdle over 3 miles. And I think Marshan 2 at 5-1 is a deserved favourite and a very good price to back following his win at Cheltenham last month. He tanked through that race in October, and I'm sure if he wins this, he'll be earmarked as a new kid on the block in the Stayers division, you'd think. Ben Jones on board again for Emma Lavelle, so I'm hoping on Saturday for a quick fire Ben Jones double with a Jukebox Man, and then Marshall. Weekends, Grade 1s on the channel to preview this time with a Betfair Chase at Haydock, and with 5 runners declared, it looks a very tactical race to get involved in. I love Haiti Couleur as a horse for Rebecca Curtis, and I'm not a big fan of Grey Dawning, unfortunately. I've never warmed to him, but he seems primed and ready for this test again, so he can't be ruled out. Royal Pagaille, winner of this race twice, is solid. However, he is an 11-year-old now, so can he win it again 3 times in a row? Bigger shocks have happened before, so that can't be ruled out. Handstands is very progressive as well, and if there's a deluge of rain at Haydock, he'd love it. Also, he has had a prep run already for this race, so he's another good shout. The 5 runners in this race are all of their chance and their credentials. And Stella Story, who completes the field for Gordon Elliott and Jigginstown, he won the Alba Barter a few seasons ago as well on heavy ground. So there might be a shot for him as well if the rain does come. It's a really tough choice to pick from these 5, but I'm going to pick one based on who I think will be the best of this bunch for the whole season, and that is Haiti Couleur, who I really think will be a sound, proper Gold Cup contender for the rest of the season. He's tough as nails. He stays the trip really well. He jumps so good and has got the best jockey around at the moment on his back on Saturday. Sean Bowen, that is, of course. I'm surprised he's joint lowest rated in this race, but that doesn't matter in this graded race. It's a grade 1 for the Betfair Chase, and it doesn't mean anything because they're all carrying the same amount of weight. I reckon there may be a drift in the market on Haiti Couleur come the day, and if that's the case, that's when I'm going to back him. That's when I'm going to get stuck in on Haiti Couleur. He's currently 130 at the moment, which is a decent price, but I still want a bit more juice in that price. I still want to be a bit more better for myself. I think Grey Dawning was currently favoured for the race with the Skelters. Will get backed in quite heavily before the off, and maybe that's the time then you back Haiti Couleur. If you fancy handstands, if you fancy Royal Pagaille winning it for a hat-trick, that's the time, guys, because I do think Grey Dawning, who has been probably earmarked for this race for a year now, since last year's second place finish in this race, he's been coming. He wants to come back here. Dan Skelton wants redemption for the horse. So that's your case. I think Haiti Couleur is as strong as anyone in this race, and I will be backing him. Not at the price currently. If he goes out to about 4-1, 5-1, I'm being generous here. If he goes out to that price, I will back Haiti Couleur. So that's my pick for this year's Betfair Chase. It's going to be Haiti Couleur for Rebecca Punchestown next on Saturday. We're there 2 days of racing. The first day on Saturday, and I'm going to kick off with their Grade 2 Florida Pearl Novice Chase. It's Rocky's Diamond I really like here. I've already backed him in the 6-runner contest for the race. And on hurdles form, he should be putting these competitors away. And even over fences, he's been an improver already. Just 2 races over the fences already he's had. He got outdone by Blizzard of Oz last time out. Not the deepest of races this time, so I think he's just going to win. That's simple for me. Rocky's Diamond. 11-8, another favourite, but I think he's the best horse in this race. And then at 2:10 there on Saturday, the 4-runner Morgiana Hurdle, which isn't a very competitive or appealing race to get involved in. Lost Seamouth is at 1-2 and should easily hammer Ironsi and Dowie and Glenkiln the rest in this race. It's not a good spectacle, and Lost Seamouth won't need to be at her best either to beat these. So this race is just best left out for me at the moment. Hopefully she can dominate and become a champion hurdle possibility and a big threat this season. On Sunday at Punchestown, it's all about a blockbuster of a race. A brilliant field assembled in the John Durkan Memorial Chase, just under 2.5 miles. There are Cheltenham Festival winners in there, 2 Grand National winners, the reigning Gold Cup hero, a Ryanair Chase winner, and a few returning horses from a long break and an injury. It's by far the race of the weekend, and it's possible we'll learn a lot, as in who is the rightful favourite for a few races anti-post-wise for races to come into the season. The market is headed by Factor-File, then Gaelic Warrior, Fast or Slow. I know the way you're thinking in there for Gavin Cromwell, Lecky Watson, Grange Clare West, Nick Rocket, Iron Maximus is in there. It's deep. It's just so deep in terms of it's stacked with big names and top winners everywhere you look. My selection though, and opinion on who I think will win, is going to be Gaelic Warrior, guys. I think this is his chance to prove he's the correct favourite and a big opportunity to stamp his own name for the King George this year. I expect him better going right-handed, and we will see if he can beat Factor-File, the reigning John Durkan winner over this distance as well. He will be the choice of Paul Town, I've got no doubt about that, and I'm confident he can win at this track again. Over this way round, he's nearly unbeatable, I think. Just like Galloping Deschamps is at Leopardstown, nearly unbeatable at that racetrack. Factor File is a top horse though in his own right and will make it hard for Gaelic Warrior. Fast or Slow is also a previous winner of this race and does go better right-handed too. So he can't be sort of ruled. He's coming back from a long layoff, a long injury break. So perhaps you can just leave him at this for the first run. The current Gold Cup winner, I know the way you're thinking, will be better for the run as well and has better chances in the spring. So I'm leaving him best watch too. But it's a cracking race. If all horses are declared to run, then it's an absolutely blockbuster renewal of the John Durkan. But I'm all for Gaelic Warrior. He can be an enigma at times and sometimes flop at certain race tracks like Leopardstown. But this course and distance is nearly perfect for him. His softer heavy ground is the case on Sunday. Again, he's got ideal conditions in his favour. And I also think if he wins this, 3 miles at Kempton. 3 miles at Kempton a year later when he should have been in there last year perhaps will be his race to lose. Off the weekend preview, guys, with one race from Cork on Sunday. Obviously, one race in mind. A few intriguing runners to note and mention in that race, including my first horse that I've backed anti-post-wise for Cheltenham. Hopefully runs. Yes, it's the Big Westerner. Hopefully he's featured on the card as expected in a mare's beginner's chase over 2 mile, 5 furlongs against the likes of Jay de Grugy and Carla Conti, no less. We kind of knew she'd open up her campaign here, as Henry Bromhead has mentioned and outlined before, and I really hope she can deliver the win on her seasonal reappearance. I believe she can win and improve a lot for fences and staying trips as well. But no doubt so will Jay de Grugy for Willie Mullins. She'll improve. I think it's between them two in the race personally, the Big Westerner and Jay de Grugy. I'll be siding with the mare from Henry Bromhead's yard. Hopefully the Big Westerner can get her first win of the season. Before I go, guys, I just want to have a little recap for the race Rebound from Cheltenham last weekend, rewinding back a few days ago. And as this is a Cheltenham Countdown channel, specifically podcasting for the Cheltenham Festival every year, building up to the festival every year with Cheltenham in mind, I just want to note a few horses I will be keeping in mind potentially to back anti-post-wise for the festival. Maybe closer to the date, maybe closer to the meeting itself. Not necessarily now or in a week's time or a month's time, but quite sooner or earlier before the festival. There's a horse I'm really fond of now, guys. He ran at Cheltenham last Friday and he won, of course. I did tip him up on Twitter. I really have fallen for this horse. He's called No Drama This End for Paul Nicholls. He has already said what he said. We all know what Paul has said regarding this specific horse and his comparison to other horses he's had in the past. I love No Drama This End, guys. I think he's a very, very top individual horse. Has been mentioned to be potentially going over staying trips, staying hurdles, races in the future. I think he's going to be potentially Paul Nicholls' number one horse for the Charlotte Hurdle. We'll see then if he is up to 2.5 miles at the festival and then possibly the Turners, or further, maybe 3 miles, just under 3 miles in the Albert Barton Officers Hurdle. I think one of those two races he's more likely to go in. He's favourite, I think, for the Turners at the moment, which says a lot this far out. He's a special horse, guys. This horse is very good. He absolutely romped home after the last up the hill at Cheltenham last Friday in a bog as well. It was a very soft ground race conditions, and he absolutely put Heads Up away for the second of the bumper, champion bumper last season. We know how good Heads Up is, but No Drama This End kicked away, stayed the trip really well, which tells me he'll be running back to the Festival of March. Now I will be back in this horse, I think, for either race, the Turners or the Albert Bartlett for the festival. I will put that out there now. No Drama This End, I hope, will win one of the novice hurdle races at the Cheltenham Festival. One other race from Cheltenham I just wanted to recap and mention from the meeting last weekend. And it happened in the Triumph Trial, the Grade 2 Juvenile Trial, and it was the winner, One Horse Town. I really like this horse as well. A very taken performance, jumped so well from the front. His only mistake was at the last hurdle, but still managed to stick on and prevail up the hill, beating in second the hot favourite for the race from the Skelton Yard in Precious Man. I think this is a nice horse for Harry Durham going forward. Really think he could develop further with more races under his belt, and who knows, could be a festival horse as well. Harry Durham has said he'll probably come back for Trials Day, which will be in January, which will indicate then if he's a Grade 1 Triumph Hurdle horse or maybe a Boodles Fred Winter Juvenile horse for the festival. You'd assume he's good enough for either race, I think, at the festival to be at. So I think I'm going to keep him on side. 2 horses then for the Rebound this week, guys. Both from Cheltenham. Both I will be keeping on side. No Drama this end, I really love. And 1 Horse Town is one also to put in the one last thing to note on the Rebound this week, guys, is who was better. We saw 2 beginners chases happening on Monday earlier this week. Obviously, I guess you know who I'm going to say. Who was better, Lulamba or Copec de Board? Put your comments below. I'll read out who are the best, probably the best reactions I get on next week's video, on the edition for next week's video. And I want your impressions on who you thought was better between Lulamba for Nicky Henderson, Copec de Board for Willie Mullins. They both look absolutely brilliant over fences together. And who do you think is going to win? And it's probably better in the pecking order come the Arkle at the festival, because these 2 horses are probably going to be very short unless anything drastically happens between now and March. So put in the comments, I'll read them out, who the best comments, the best reactions, who you guys thought was better between Lulamba and Copec de Board on Monday. Now, if you have, just zoom forward and just click the best bets section of the video, the part of the video where I just gave you my best bets. Here they are, the 4 I got this weekend. I got 4 best bets to give you. The first comes at Haydock on Saturday. I really like Marchand 2 at 11-2, the price I backed him at in the Stayers Handicap Hurdle at the track. I think the £9 rise he's had since winning at Cheltenham last time out in October is so lenient. He's got more to give. He's not even top weighted horse in this race. He should just go and win for Ben Jones and Emma Lavelle. I do feel we haven't reached his ceiling yet. His limit hasn't. We don't know where his limit lies. Hopefully Marchand, who can progress further up the ratings, rise up more, and he could potentially be a Stayers Hill horse for the festival. Who knows? He is obviously qualified for the Thames final as well. And the other 3 best bets are all from Ascot throughout the weekend. The first is at tomorrow afternoon, on Friday, if you are watching this on Thursday, Fortune de Mare at 2:35 tomorrow. I think he just wins for the Skeltons. Then you got Alto Belly at 8-1 at Ascot at the Ascot Hurdle on Saturday. I think he can win. I backed him at 8-1. He can improve on a track. He really does enjoy that. He won there twice last season. I think he's well handicapped, and maybe he's going to have a tough race against Woodhull, but I think Alto Belly at a racetrack he does enjoy. On course, distance, ground conditions all in his favour. Hopefully he just goes and wins. And lastly, Teddy Blue as well on Saturday at Ascot. He's 4-1 favourite in the handicap chase at 3:15. I think he can bounce back and win again from the track he won last time out. So they're my 4. 1 from Haydock, Marchand 2, and the other 3 from Ascot. Fortune de Mare, Alto Belly, and Teddy Blue. They're my best bets. I hope you do follow them. If you don't worry. I'll just try and get best one. If you have watched the whole episode from start to finish, I really thank you for doing so. I've just tried rattling through as many races I like to preview and hope you guys want to check in on as well. That is it from this week's episode, guys. The Betfair Chase, the Morgiana, and John Durkan feature on the Grade 1 races for action this weekend. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have watched it from start to finish, I appreciate for doing so. Or if you have just played a few parts of the video, then thanks so much for watching. Like and share as you always do. I have recognized you do like and share a lot of my videos, and the subscribers have gone up again recently. So thanks so much for doing so. Keep them going up, and I'll see you all next week, because next week it's all about the Coral Gold Cup and the Fighting Fifth. Newbury and Newcastle feature on the Cheltenham Countdown. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you.